everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to yet another video. This time I'm going to respond to the 10 question movie soundtrack tag that was set up by Beth at B-Side Records. I think it was yesterday. I was not going to touch this at all because I thought there was no way I could actually do this, but I looked at the questions last night and it's almost like an exam paper. You look through them and you go, oh no, I don't know any of these, and then you pick out one, you do it first, then you pick out the lot, and I managed to get them all answered. So here goes. So the first question is the first soundtrack I ever bought, and it is this one, Flash Gordon by Queen, which was bought in 1982. This came out at the end of 1980. But I didn't get this till around February or March or whatever it was, 82. It was 82 anyway. And incidentally, Flash Gordon was actually the first VHS that I hired out to play at home on our brand new video recorder. And we got that in 1981 for Christmas, and Flash Gordon was the very first film. It's not a great film. I'll defend it, but it is rubbish, but I'll still defend it. But this is a really good soundtrack. It's got the fantastic Flash on it, and it's got the Hero on it, which is only 2 songs, and the rest is soundtrack music. So it is really a proper soundtrack album. Okay, the newest soundtrack to come into my collection. Well, I'm taking this as the most recent purchase, not the newest movie, because this came from 1983. And if I said 2 words, water and chair, would you know what it was? If I said 2 more words, Jennifer and Beals, I'm sure you will get it. It's this Flashdance, and I love this album. I absolutely love this album. I love the Irene Cara Flashdance song, What a Feeling. If it was always Fame v Flashdance, Flashdance wins every time. And I do love Maniac. But the one song on here that is the best for me is the ballad Lady, 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 which for years I didn't know who performed it, who recorded it, or what album it was on. Now I obviously knew at the time because my friend had this album way back in 1983, and the song was used in an advert in Northern Ireland. It was about the Troubles at the time, and I always loved the song, and I was looking up books and everything to find out who sang this song and where could I get it, and it was really only from the start of YouTube that I was able to find it, and I got it, and I finally got the album as well. So Flashdance is one of the newest. I'm not too sure if it's exactly the newest, but I got this within the last year. Okay, one that I listen to the most. Well, this is my favourite soundtrack of all time, and it's the one I would listen to the most, and it's the soundtrack to the Wickerman 1973 film with Edward Woodward. And yeah, Christopher Lee is also in this as well. And this actually is music and songs by Paul Giovanni. This is absolutely brilliant. Even Christopher Lee has said this is the best soundtrack for any film that he has been in. Side 1 is actually all the songs. So you get beautiful songs like Corn Rigs, The Landlord's Daughter. Funny enough, The Landlord's Daughter also features Lindsay Kemp, who was the mime artist that taught David Bowie how to do mime. And Willow Song's beautiful, and The Fire Leap, Maypole. This film actually, it was the first time I saw it was about 15 years ago, and it really scared the bejesus out of me. I thought it was really scary, and funny enough, the year after they remade it, and it was rubbish with Nicolas Cage. But side 2 of this has got the incidental music, and it's really, really good. So this is my favourite soundtrack, and it's the one I would play the most. Favourite composer, I'm going to give it to a guy called James Bernard, who would have composed a lot of the music for the Hammer films. Now I'm a big Hammer buff, I really do like the Hammer films. So on this one here, this is like a compilation, and he's got a few on this. He's got Dracula, I can hardly read this. He's got She, Taste the Blood of Dracula, Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, and I think that's it for him. And The Devil Rides Out. Yeah, it's really, really good. Like, for example, the theme to Dracula, the way he does it is he almost sort of makes the music around how you would actually say the word. And the intro to this video has the theme to Dracula, so it goes duh, 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 which is Dracula. So yeah, he would be my favourite. James Bernard, brilliant. Okay, favourite instrumental score, and I will probably give it to The Killing Fields, Mike Oldfield. A big Mike Oldfield fan. I just look at this as a Mike Oldfield album, but it really is a soundtrack. Evacuation on this is absolutely amazing. Good News is really good, and then there's the single. There's a single taken off this called Etude, which was actually re-released later on in the decade. This is from 1984. Because I think Nurofen used it for one of their adverts, and it became another minor hit single. But yeah, really, really good album, and I would need to watch this again. I've only seen this once, and it's years ago, so I really would like to see this again. It's quite disturbing. So that's The Killing Fields' favourite instrumental score. Awesome movie, terrible soundtrack. Well, I don't have the soundtrack, but I borrowed it once, and it's Ghost. I really do like the film. I loved the film at the time. Again, I haven't seen it in years, and I love the song On-Chain Melody, but I borrowed the soundtrack and I thought it was awful, apart from On-Chain Melody, so that gets that one. Soundtrack better than the movie, and there's two here. This one here, Porkies Revenge, which was shown today by me, Mr. Mayo. This is a fantastic soundtrack. Dave Edmunds, High School Nights, and Do You Want to Dance. It also has Jeff Beck on it, Sleepwalk. George Harrison doing Bob Dylan's I Don't Want to Do It. It also has Clarence Clements on it. Willie Nelson. It's a really, really good soundtrack. The movie's rubbish though. But I'll show another one as well, and it's this one. This is like a British version of that type of film called Party Party, and we have Elvis Costello doing Party Party, Dave Edmunds again, this time doing Run Rudolph Run, Pauline Black, No Woman No Cry, Sting doing Tutti Frutti, Bad Manners, Elizabethan Reggae, Chaz and Dave doing Old Lang Syne, Midge doing The Man Who Sold the World. I think Sting does Need Your Love So Bad, the Fleetwood Mac song. Well, it's not their song, but they're the hit with it. So this is an absolutely awesome album as well, but the movie's rubbish. Okay, song by favourite artist on a soundtrack. Show 2, David Bowie, Absolute Beginners, and That's Motivation. And if you buy the double version, you get him doing Volare, and also Cat People, where he does the title track. A soundtrack that everyone should own. Well, I'm going to say 3 here. 2 of them go together and are so obvious. Grease and Saturday Night Fever. You can't really have one without the other, because John Travolta really, but they're 2 excellent albums. But the one I would really pick is The Sound of Music, because I think this is absolutely brilliant and everybody should have it, and there's no excuse, because I think this is in the cheapo bins throughout the whole of the world. I absolutely love it. I also love the movie, or the soundtrack to Mary Poppins. This was actually #1 on the album charts the day I was born. So again, from 1966, it's a fantastic album. And funny, Mary Poppins was #3. The Beatles were #2 with Rubber Soul. So yeah, absolutely fantastic album. Everybody should own this. And lastly, a soundtrack grail. Well, I actually do have one, because I was looking for this for years. I've now got a digital copy of it, and it's National Lampoon's Vacation, because it had 2 Lindsey Buckingham songs on it, Holiday Road and Dancing Across the USA. It also has the Ramones Blitzkrieg Bop on it as well. So I always wanted to get that, and I remember going down to the record shop and asking, was it available? Now in those days they had this huge book that they used to look up, and they would always say, nope, sorry, it's deleted, nope, sorry, it's deleted. So I never actually got it. So I may actually still look out for that, although I do have those Buckingham songs now on vinyl and CD through Lindsay Buckingham's Greatest Hits. Okay, so that's my entry, or my response, sorry, to the 10 question soundtrack tag, and hope you enjoyed that, and I hope other people jump in this as well, because as I say, I thought I couldn't do this, but I managed it actually relatively easily. Okay, that's me for now. Hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.